Hello, and welcome to the Rankin Report for Sunday, December 17th, 2023. From Psalm 77, verse 11. I will remember the deeds of the Lord. Yes, I will remember your miracles of long ago. And from the Gospel of John, chapter 10, verses 22 and 23. Then came the festival of dedication at Jerusalem. It was winter, and Jesus was in the temple courts walking in Solomon's colonnade. Hanukkah, or the Festival of Lights, has just wrapped up for this year, and we hope our friends who are of the Jewish faith had a blessed and joyous celebration. For those unfamiliar with the holiday, it coincides with the beginning of the Jewish Maccabean revolt against the Greek-based Seleucid Empire. The Seleucids, when they took control of what is now Israel, at first respected Jewish culture and religion, until Antiochus IV Epiphanes in 170 BC looted the temple in Jerusalem. 3 years later, 167 BC, he outlawed Jewish practices, built an altar to the Greek god Zeus in the Jerusalem temple, and began sacrificing pigs in the building. This triggered a revolt by the Jewish priest Mattathias, which was eventually led by his son Judah. By 164 BC, the rebels regained control over Jerusalem, though the rebellion was far from over, and began to purify the temple. The account goes that when the priests sought to relight the great menorah in the temple, there was only, there was only enough oil for one day, and it would take 8 days to prepare purified oil for the lights. Yet miraculously, the existing oil lasted the full 8 days until new oil was ready to be used. The 8-day festival of Hanukkah commemorates this miracle, and the Apostle John records that Jesus celebrated the festival, then known as the Feast of Dedication, as we saw in the passage from his Gospel at the beginning of this post. Details on what happened can be found in the books of 1st and 2nd Maccabees in the Apocrypha. Some of the blessings and prayers for the feast include, Blessed are you, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who performed miracles for our ancestors in their days. Thank you for the miracles, for rescuing us, for the courageous acts you performed, for saving us, and for the battles you waged in defense of our ancestors. In reading up on this, I began to realize that God did miraculous things for the founders and the people in their generation here in America as well. The stories are numerous and used to be taught regularly in our schools and textbooks. For example, during the French and Indian War in 1755, George Washington, then a young colonel with the Virginia militia attached to Brigadier General Edward Braddock, was fired upon at point-blank range several times by Native American troops working with the French who ambushed Braddock's command. Braddock was killed in the ambush, and every officer was shot, except Washington. 2 horses were shot out from under him. His coat was marked by 4 bullet holes, yet he himself did not receive so much as a scratch. Years later, one of the native chiefs who led his warriors in the ambush sought out Washington to share his account of the battle. The chief said he personally fired at the colonel 17 times at close range without effect. And the chief had proclaimed that Washington was under the protection of the Great Spirit and declared that he could not die in battle. In 1776, during the Revolution, a powerful nor'easter storm prevented British General Howe from launching an amphibious assault on American positions overlooking Boston Harbor while cannons for the Patriots were being transported from Fort Ticonderoga. This storm hit the very night before the assault. The results led to Howe withdrawing his troops from Boston. Later that same year, another strong storm prevented Howe's troops from attacks on American positions and cutting off an escape route in the East River. As the storm ceased, a thick fog fell on the area, under the cover of which American troops successfully evacuated their positions. When the fog lifted in the morning, the British came to attack the Americans, only to find they were all gone. And of course, there was the daring 1776 Christmas surprise assault on German Hessian mercenaries after Washington and his troops, reduced to 2,000 enduring the brutal winter at Valley Forge, crossed the Delaware River, assisted by a driving snowstorm in the faces of the Hessians, enabling Washington's troops to capture nearly 1,000 enemy soldiers. This victory is said to have saved the Revolution, with more men volunteering for the Continental Army. There are many other examples throughout American history, but you get the idea. The hand of providence, as God's direct intervention was referred to by Washington and other patriots, was well known in the founding era and beyond, as the accounts were told. And even today, despite the efforts of secularists and revisionist historians to downplay, debunk, or deny God's role in that history, these accounts keep popping up in our collective memory. Outside of Jewish citizens, Americans do not celebrate Hanukkah. The nation, however, has, you might say, its own festival of lights, that of Independence Day, celebrated on July 4th. The founders intended it to be a celebration with a capital C. John Adams, in particular, writing to his wife Abigail, described his vision that the holiday, quote, will be celebrated by succeeding generations as the great anniversary festival, complete with pomp and parade, games, sports, guns, bells, bonfires, and illuminations, fireworks, from one end of this continent to the other. Many churches in the colonies held divine services on that day, a practice that now, sadly, is moved to the Sunday immediately preceding or following July 4th, unless, of course, the holiday happens to fall on a Sunday. And major Christian denominations, though giving thanks to God for the holiday, have de emphasized the role of the Lord in the discovery, development, and the foundation of the United States. Between this and the misinterpretation in recent decades of the concept of the separation of church and state, most people view Independence Day as a national holiday, but a secular holiday. We don't even call it Independence Day anymore. Most people simply refer to it as the 4th of July. Celebrations of the day off from work, the fireworks themselves, baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and certain brands of automobiles are the order of the day, with little appreciation of what our independence is truly all about, and the hand of providence at the heart of it all. As the Great Awakening grows and spreads in America, a greater emphasis on God's hand in our history is long overdue. Now, I am not advocating for an American version of Hanukkah, because the fight for independence from Great Britain took years instead of 8 days. In fact, it was practically two wars. The War of 1812 is often referred to as the Second War for Independence. But we can honor God for going to a great deal of time and effort on behalf of our nation. Or, as Francis Scott Key put it in the final verse of the Star-Spangled Banner, blessed with victory and peace, may the heaven-rescued land praise the power that hath made and preserved us a nation. This begins in the hearts of the people and can be at any time, on Independence Day and or Thanksgiving, Veterans Day, Memorial Day, President's Day, even Christmas or Hanukkah, or in one's own daily prayers. To that end, I offer this prayer as a model. You, of course, may use your own words if you choose, but I used Hanukkah prayers and blessings, traditional Hanukkah prayers and blessings, as a basis for it. Blessed are you, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who did miracles for our forefathers in the New World, who gave us rights that can never be revoked or infringed, and who continues to guide us into making us one people out of many. Amen. Pray for the Great Awakening, no king but Jesus, independence forever. That's the Rankin Report for Sunday, December 17th, 2023. Don't forget to hit the like button or share button. Leave a comment if you wish, if you have questions, or you can email us at our website or at our email address and check out our website. God bless you and have a great day.